I'm 62 years old and I still remember him. His name was Silvio Castellanos. When I met him, he was already about 36, 37 years old, and I was all in fourth grade. I was 9 years old. And I had to do the tryouts, and I had played ball for, just out in the backyard and whatnot. But he started training us and giving us pointers on what to do, and we were making the team, and he said, kid, you're left-handed like me. And although it looks like you have a good swing, I'm going to make a better player out of you. You're going to be my pitcher. So he worked with me for a few days and taught me how to throw a ball. And he told me something that I later saw on the big leagues with Tom Seaver. You remember Tom Seaver, right? When you're pitching, if your knee doesn't hit you pivot, right? I'm left-handed. You pivot, you plant facing home plate, and when you throw the ball, this knee, in my case, the left knee, has to hit the ground. And he told me, if I don't see your left knee dirty, you're not pitching the way I want you to pitch. That was when I was 9 years old. I'm 62. That's a good mentor. That's a good coach to you. We have excellent coaches and mentors here. First one that we have is Father Matt, but in this case we have Father Brandon. And why is Father Brandon a super good coach and mentor? Because about a month ago when we started reading the Discourse of the Bread of Life, you remember that he started the homily series on the Bread of Life, and he told us, I want you to read, pray, meditate, discern over chapter 6. You remember that? That's what a good coach does. And then the other good coach, Father Matt, closed last week on the 23rd, and he told us what? Do you remember what he told us? I don't have much time. Somebody has to tell me. He told us to make a radical choice for Christ. In the first reading, we're called to be a smart, wise, intelligent nation. Second reading says, if you're going to be wise and intelligent, you have to listen humbly to the Word of God. John tells us in the beginning of his gospel, in the beginning there was God. With God was the Word. Yes? And the Word was made flesh. Who is the only Word of God? People of God. Jesus. Jesus is the only Word of God. And Jesus himself makes present his body and his blood when the priest, persona Christi, consecrates that host and that wine. Eucharistic ministers, after that is done, don't you ever dare call it a host or wine. You're handling the most precious blood and the most precious body. And when we eat of the body and blood of Christ, what happens? It comes in, we ingest it. Every fiber of our own mind and our body becomes the body and blood of Christ. And in doing so, we need to think like Christ. We are the hands of Christ. We are the feet of Christ. And when we are sent off from here, we need to be Christ-like with any and everybody we meet. And that's the reason why we should come often. Often means daily. We need to think about that. To start doing this as a daily spiritual exercise. So that when we come out of here, we become Christ to all. Christ, the best coach that, do you remember the gospel? What's the last word of the gospel? Folly. You know what the word folly means? I went to check it out. I checked it out in my trusty dictionary here, and I said, in Spanish, of course, because I don't speak English well. So I had to check it out what it means, and it means stupid. That's what the translation of a fool, tonto, estúpido, is in Spanish. So let not be fool, let us not be stupid. Come to the table, eat and drink, and become Christ-like to everybody out there. God bless you. May God bless you. And remember, when you have coaches and mentors, use them. He's a very good spiritual guide. Come to him. Talk to him.